What's our estimated time, Vector?
Target 20 years ago. 22 hours, 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 30 microseconds solar time. Of course, you will not move in space. 20 years ago, here was a beautiful green meadow with many, many wildflowers. That is what you will see on arrival. Go with all my heart.
like endless black velvet. Stars, sometimes a moon, hung as if suspended by wire.
folks say I got nothing to fear. I'm so tired of beating myself up. Wanna take a trip and multiply. Wanna please go under with a smile. Oh, I'm so tired of beating myself up. Wanna take a trip and multiply. Wanna please go under with a smile. People on the street, there are many, many. People on the moon, there ain't any. Say it, yeah. Falling down the same old hole. Taking a dive, 'cause I got no control. I'm so tired, so tired, so tired, so tired, so tired. I'm so tired of beating myself up. Wanna take a trip and multiply. Wanna please go under with a smile. I'm so tired of beating myself up. Take a trip and multiply. Please go under with a smile.
In this very ungracious world, genuine quality is easy to recognize.
Why do you find the world ungracious?
Well, today's music, for example, it's all electronic noise and confusion. That's why what's happening here is so important.
I know for me, one of the things that changed my thinking about time very much was electronic music, because I suddenly realized that I couldn't count that in the way that I had counted conventional metrical arranged music, measures or beats or whatever. And I could arrange an artificial count with it, but it didn't make any sense to do that. It didn't seem organic to me. And also, if one simply tried to follow the music, the sound, you couldn't do it in any sense honestly or accurately. You were always a little bit before or after.
think of all that brilliance trapped in cyberspace when the real action's out here.
Do you think artificial life forms can feel?
Feel? It's pretty unlikely, but they do evolve. And controlling human beings is undoubtedly adapted for survival.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Is there anything that you hate?
Mashed potatoes. If I'm chasing him and he escapes from me, the madness keeps on until I get him later on in the day.
Do you like being mad?
I don't like being mad, but I suppose everybody gets mad once in a lifetime. Mashed potatoes. One of the teachers, the teacher what I had last, I was only about 5 and I was staying to school dinners, and she made me eat a big load of mashed potatoes. Whenever I eat it now, it seems to feel like it won't go down, can't digest it.
What was your feeling towards the teacher then?
Terrible.
Did she stay there?
Here until I'd finished every bit. At that time, they didn't like any waste.
What was the teacher thinking about you, do you feel?
I don't know, she was all red and angry. You know, exhausted, all red.
sound is the spot wrong, but actually sound correct. What we do a lot of the time we're writing tracks, a track title will be a part of maybe a reference to the samples we use, this and that will be part of the actual construction. Other times we'll do sarcastically. People just get along with the steps, we just reckon there's what we do, there's just stuff like that. I mean, I actually reckon there's a lot of fun for exploration, living there. People haven't even sort of touched the surface. Basically, sort of, we designed and built the models used in the video for the track that we did, which was second live version of an EP called Animal Vapor. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of this robot that at the end of it starts moving around and stuff, which is computer animation and in February we're releasing our fourth album, which is another collection of probably about the last 12 months' work, and it's called Caustic Slide. Well, the single's coming out in January, it's called Envy.
Where lava pours out near the sea surface, tremendous volcanic explosion is sometimes observed. Submarine sea minerals or islands are formed. Where lava flows underwater and behaves differently.
just who I am to myself. Can I trust myself to how I feel? Maybe one day I won't be enough. Sometimes I think I don't feel at all. And when I look into myself I find I'm not comfortable inside my mind. The only thing we ever learn is that we care about some arbitrary cause to die. Pass it on and it will never end. Maybe all I need to do is pray. Nothing I say doesn't sound juvenile. I'm not comfortable inside my mind. Is this music or not?